G'day guys, my name's Knight and welcome back to Automobilista 2, where we are continuing the 2023 SDRS Mini, or in other words the COPA Montana Custom Championship, where we are revisiting the SDRS Racing Series races from 2023 at half length. This time we are headed to Jerez in Spain for a 3-hour race. So we'll see how we can do here. Slight difference from last time. I now have proper force feedback in the steering wheel. I did not have that before. I finally, after many years, managed to actually fix the bloody Logitech software and get the freaking thing working. So that might help with consistency. A lot of the problems we've had so far has just been consistency. Where late in the race we kind of just fall off, have a bit of an accident. Hopefully the force feedback will help tame that a little bit. So we're going to jump straight in. No idea what the weather's going to be like. So far it's looking clear. We're probably going to be safe. Alright, so let's get ourselves out on the track, warm these tires up a little bit. Hello, Watame. In practice just before the stream, I was hitting 154s, so I think we can definitely hit 154s. We'll see if we can hit 153s after a bit more practice. Might be a little bit of a push, but yeah, because this car is very fun around this track, I will admit, but it's very sideways. There's a lot of points on this track where we will be going sideways through the corners and drifting it, which again, because of the force feedback now, I can actually save that and hold the slides a lot easier than I used to be able to, so we should be okay at trying to manage this. Let's just see what we can do. Now I'm pretty sure, unlike the last 3 hour, this one I believe is regular real-time pace, rather than the, I can't remember what we had. It was like 5 times, right? Or something? 5 times speed. So this is going to be, well, we're hopefully not going to have nighttime, basically, is what I'm saying. We're not going to end up in the dark with no headlights, like we did in that first race. So we should be able to just hold it to the end, hopefully. Hopefully we don't make too many mistakes. Again, 3-hour race, it's going to be a bit of a long one. We've got 20 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of quali as usual. So let's just kick it around there. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit. And let's start our first practice lap here. See what we can do. So we want to break around that line, I think, for turn 1. I think I turned it a little too sharp. Ran it wide on the exit. Bit of a slide there, that's okay. Run across that inside curve. Now I believe, if I get this right, which I didn't. If we get that right, we can go full throttle through that corner. Problem is,
just got out of track limits.
Getting that right consistently is probably going to be an issue, so we may end up just lifting through that corner on most laps. So we'll see how it goes. I'm falling in behind Watame here. Gonna brake just before that white line. Get it around there, nicely. I believe we can take this full throttle. The AI is not at the moment, but we can take that full throttle. And this one we can take faster than I expect. I always want to lift off here, but we can actually take that a bit faster than my brain tells me that I can. So that's going to be probably an area where we might lose time to the AIs here and there. And of course we got this little chicane at the end with the sausage curbs. Very easy to unsettle the car. And then it's more or less just going to be sideways through this whole section there, through those two corners. Get a little bit past that white line. Hit the brakes. Go up the inside of Watame here.
The leader has just done a
nice.
201.17.
So slow start for the leader there, 201. This is probably going to be a very slow start for us as well, 158.
156.67.
And again, I know I can reach 154.
The car ahead.
So let's just get the car into the mode and try to navigate traffic now as well as everyone's coming out onto the track. Can we actually get that full throttle this time? Yes, we can. Nice. So yeah, if we take a wide entry, we can manage that one at full throttle.
Okay.
So there we go. We're probably taking that corner a little tighter than the AIs. I'm okay with that. I'm going to try and dive up the inside of the other Watame. This is going to compromise our speed on the exit because we can't use the full track. That's okay. Again, my brain tells me to lift there, but no. We can go through there flat out. And then here, slow it down a bit.
173.
That's alright.
You sector 2 times quick. The leader's just done it, 155.58.
Let's just cruise it through here. Now, another thing that's going to be working against me is I am tired. I am very tired and I can feel my focus is not fully there. My eyes are not entirely focused, a little bit blurry here and there, a little bit tired. Hard to fully keep open, so that's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Of course, I did end up getting up at like 8 a.m. and now it's 5 p.m. We're going to be pretty much streaming until 9 p.m. here, so it's going to be an interesting one. But
sector 3 time is quick.
Hopefully can hold on there. That was a 54.5. Not too bad. A couple of stabs at the throttle through turn 1. Little bit on that inside curb. Oh. Again, there we go. The force feedback really helping me save the car there. I think we're a bit wide. No, we're actually okay there through that corner.
Sector 1 is quick.
Again, I like to take the slightly tighter line around that one than what is probably recommended.
The guy behind has just done
what I know the AIs do.
101.
As we progress through this session, we'll obviously start to see what the AIs are actually capable of as far as lap times go. Of course, we're still running the 111, same as we have in the last few races. We've managed to keep pace with them, maybe outpace them from, well, on general, vaguely outpace them, but then our luck is, or our consistency has just knocked us down. Hopefully, again, that's not the case this time. Hopefully we can hold on. Very wide there. Okay. Bouncing over those curves. I don't really want to be doing that too much. It does unsettle the car. We can't just throw it over the curbs like like at bloody Gold Coast today. It was great fun watching those Gold Coast races today and yesterday. Just seeing them fly all four wheels off the ground over those curbs at the beach chicane.
Sector 3 is 0.26 off the pace.
Ooh-y. Okay, not too bad through turn 1. Again, a little bit of a slide on the exit. That's okay. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. There we go. We actually get it in. Oh, that's... Had to lift off the throttle there. Just kept it on the track.
Sector 1 time is good.
Alright. Get it out of there. Nicely done. We've got clean air for a while up ahead. Marine is not super close here. Okay, get it stopped. Could have gone faster through there. We did not use the full track. Flat through there again. Slow it down. I need to tell myself to get on the throttle earlier there. We just lose too much time. Because I'm not confident in that corner. There we go. Ooh, missed the apex coming into the chicane there, which has hurt our lap time. Very sideways there. That's okay. Caught it. Get the brakes. Get it around. I think that was Marine or someone going into... Yeah, that was the Marine going into the lane.
10 minutes left.
And that's going to be a slower lap. That's okay. It's still a 54.7, so still a very good lap. Still, I think, faster than any of the AIs. Sora is a 4.48 behind us. So, just lift off the throttle a little bit there. Not bad.
You've used half your fuel. Sector 1 time is good.
Just kick it in there. Get a little bit of a slide. That's okay. Slide it. It's not going to be great on our tires. We are probably going to be decimating these tires, and we're definitely going to be feeling it at the end of a stint. Depending on AI pace, we might be able to get away with just being a little easier on them in the race. Might be able to get away with just going a little slower. We'll find out. Is that... Yep, that was actually good. Okay.
Sector 2 time is good.
Nice. Ooh, hit the apex that time. And through there. We're still slower than our best, I think, but we're right on the edge. See if we can't make up some time here. No, I think we're going to be slower out of the final corner. Not quite. We're actually a little bit faster, so we are going to slightly improve our lap time. Not by much, though. A 54.436.
Sector 3 time's okay.
So that's not too bad. Big slide through turn 1 again. So this is going to be an interesting race. Again, the car gets so sideways. It's so easy to slide it around these corners, which is fun, but a little bit terrifying, especially that corner trying to go full throttle. If you don't get the exact line, you will go off, so I gotta lift it a little bit. But again, if the AI pace continues to just not be up to par, then we won't have to push it that hard through there. We can get away with taking it a little slower. Okay. Are we good on the throttle? We are good. That was good. Okay. Come on. Very sideways through there. Tires are probably starting to let go a little bit as well, because we have been thrashing them. Misbraked there. And that's going to send it around. Just too much inside curb. That's alright. Again, as long as we don't do that in the race, then we should be okay. Just got to avoid doing that in the race. Okay. So I think what I will do actually is we go fuel and tires, max out our fuel intake,
Fuel remaining.
turn off our repair, and make us change tires as well. We are going to
Okay, pit stop requested.
run a pit stop, and then we'll just see how the car feels coming out of the pits on a full tank, fresh tires, and get a feel for it so we know what to expect in the race. Because again, 3-hour race, we're going to be doing probably a few pit stops, 20 laps on a tank.
Overall.
20 laps on a tank, we're almost 2 minutes a lap. So 20 laps, that'll take us just under 40 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna be stopping a few times. A few pit stops. Ooh, careful.
Okay, Eve, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Of course, we're gonna have to see what the tire life is like at the end of 20 laps, because we're coming in at the end of lap 7 here. So we have only done a 7-lap stint.
Pit crew's ready.
The other thing to note is I'm going to take a wild guess and say the AIs will do half stints. Same as they did in the first race, same as they've done in some of the other longer races since then. I think we're going to see half stint AIs for most of the race, and then we're going to get it slowed down there. And then they're going to full stint towards the end. Again, they might end up
For the pit speed limit.
doing it a little early, having to pit in the final 10 laps like they often do. We will find out. But yeah. So the question is, do we half stint it with the AIs, keep pace with them, which we did in the first 3-hour one. Didn't really work out for us in the end because it kept us with the AIs, which meant a good race, but it also meant once it got dark it was pretty much game over for us. Again, it shouldn't get dark for this one. It's just whether do we want to basically just blast it and potentially have half as many stops as the AIs, which will probably put us a fair amount in front, will make it a lot easier of a race for us. We could go for a very easy win here.
Keep your wits about you.
Just take it easy, don't worry about having too much pace, and just win it on having half the pit stops. Or we can half stint with them and try and keep it close artificially. After some of the other races not working out for us, I kind of want to just go to our limits rather than the AI's half stints. I want to go full stints, give us a bit of a well, we'll probably end up with a fairly significant buffer by the end, but I want us to see how much further ahead. I am curious, actually, how much further ahead compared to the AIs we'll end up just by doing that. But also, again, we need the points. We're 10th place in the championship. We don't have many races left. We've got this one. We've got Daytona. We've got Laguna Seca, and we've got Bathurst. So I reckon we try to get as many points as we can here, because some of those other races are going to be a little bit tricky. Especially Laguna Seca and Daytona are going to be probably a little difficult because they are shorter races. Daytona, or not, sorry, Laguna Seca, I think it's going to be like 75 miles, I think, which is incredibly short for a lot of what we do. And then Daytona is going to be like 125 miles, which is also just very, very short. So we'll probably end up actually doing both of those races in one stream next week. We'll probably do them both at once. We'll see. Because I reckon they're going to be very, very short races, which causes some problems. Especially Daytona is going to be a real pain in the ass, because it's an oval. It's a super... Not only that, it's a super speedway. I suck at ovals in general. Super speedways. We saw how the Daytona 250 went
Sector 1 time's okay.
in 2023 when we did it with the IndyCars. It did not go well at all. It was horrible. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get a good result there. We can try and get a good result at Laguna Seca. I think if we just have consistency at Laguna Seca, we'll be fine. Daytona is entirely going to depend on AI skills, AI ability on a super speedway, how fast they can go compared to how fast I can go, what their setup is basically. Yeah, it's not even necessarily going to depend on skill, it's going to depend on setup entirely. So we may get screwed on Daytona, we'll find out, which is why I want to try and get points here. And then of course Bathurst. Bathurst is always going to be difficult. That's going to be, I think, 80 laps, 81 laps. So obviously 500 kilometers. More of a regular race length for what we do. Closer to the sort of endurance length. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one to hold on to, but we might also get the AIs doing the sort of thing that they've been doing in these sessions anyway, so that might help us at Bathurst as well. So yeah, if we can get just as many points as we can, that'll be optimal. So let's jump into qualifying now. And let's drop the fuel levels. It is raining! Oh no! Okay. I don't know what it's going to be like on wet tires on a wet or a damp track. So let's see how this goes. That's the button, right? that is the button.
Your exit's clear. Watch the white line. Alright,
okay.
You've got 9 minutes.
This is going to be interesting. Of course, we've got the 1.03% multiplier for AI wet skills. So we'll see if that's actually going to be a good multiplier, because we haven't really had any proper tests of that yet. There was a practice, I think practice at Long Beach. It was slightly wet, but aside from that, it's been dry almost the whole way through. So we'll see how this goes. See what we can do against the AIs. I don't know if it's going to still be raining when we get to the main race. It very much might, which could make things a little tricky, especially a 3-hour race. We're probably going to, if it is raining at the start, high chance that we're going to go from wet to dry later in the race, which is also going to make things very interesting. Crossover point is always a bit of a dicey one with the AIs. I think that is something that is maybe going to be slightly fixed in the next update. I think they uploaded some preview videos involving the crossover between wet and dry. Ooh, too late on the brakes there. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also just not sure. I think I'm pushing the wheel too far towards the desk, so it's going to start vibrating the desk and everything on it. That's not great. I have to pull it back in a second. Can I do that now? There we go. because unfortunately the frame just likes to move on the carpet, so it goes forwards a little bit. Alright, let's see what sort of lap we can set here. Ooh. We're catching up to Muna. I'm a little bit worried about Muna slowing us down here. Can we try to go for a pass? Muna is actually covering that inside. There we go, now we can go. Now Crimson Ruse is... he got out of the way. Not too bad. Alright. So it's going to be, of course, compared to what we were doing in the dries, it's going to be slow lap, but what is it going to be compared to the AIs here? And are we going to be able to improve it? I'd say we will, because we had traffic this lap. And we're still kind of just, I'm still getting used to the grip that I have here, and how fast I can actually take some of these corners. Ooh. I think I can take that one again. I think I can take that one faster. So if the start of the race is going to be in the rain, that is going to make things interesting and very slippery. Bloody hell. Slow it down, hit the apex. Sure, can't go full throttle, there we go, now we're full throttle. That took a while to get to full throttle through there. Okay. Yeah, we're about 10 seconds down on our dry lap time, just about. There we go, hit the 10 seconds there. And that is going to be, for our first flying lap, 204.838. What are the AIs capable of here? Because they do have that wet skill scalar multiplier. They do have a multiplier on their wet skill. So, are they going to be better than me in the
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left.
Versus the dry? Because they're like half a second off on the dry. These first laps, not very good, not very promising from the AIs there, 13 seconds off. There we go, 3.5 for Sora. See if, or 3.6, sorry. We'll see if that gap comes down over these next laps. Because we got 4.5 minutes left of the session. We're going to go, if we can keep this lap together, half a second faster. Oh, we did lose it there a little bit. That one was on me, I think, for hitting the brakes where I shouldn't have. So we are going to end up only...
Sector 2 time is okay.
Well, not quite having what we wanted. Oh my god. Okay, can we get out of there? We lost some time. Oh god. Just outbraking ourselves into the chicane there. Come on, come on. Keep control of the car. Can we try and get through here without sending it too far sideways? There we go, that is going to be half a second. 0.6 maybe. Alright, 0.567
3 time is
faster. So that's a 4.257. So we've increased our lead a little bit over Sora here in qualifying. I'm not sure we're going to get too much faster than that. Nope. That's going to be a spin for us. And I've once again pushed it onto the... I can see the monitors vibrating. Yeah, okay, we're just going to have to... I'm just going to have to deal with rattling the table around a little bit. I think I'm pushing it too far back. I feel like it doesn't normally slide that much. I don't know, I must be pushing it harder than normal. Okay. really need to figure a way to make it not slide back like that. But anyway, it's sitting on the table, so it's going to be vibrating everything on it. So if you see the webcam vibrating, that would be why. And our tires are overheating now as well. So can we try and cool them down a little bit? Going off the racing line.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Sector 2 is 0.32 off the pace.
Yeah, this, I mean, crew chief, this is not a lap. We're 11.5 seconds off right now. But we've got no one behind us right now. I think, judging by the pace of Sora and Chihaya and all of that, I think we're going to be safe. We're going to get pole position here. I don't think there's going to be a problem with that. I think we are comfortably in the lead. Obviously the 1.03, to be fair, I was like, okay, the 1.03 I might not be enough right now, but it's also the AI are not as seeming as fast on this track as they have been on other tracks, because we're running the same AI that were very, very closely running with us in qualifying on previous tracks. And here they're half a second off in the practice. So I think they're just not quite as skilled around this track, not quite as fast. We're pulling out a lot more time somewhere.
Sector 1 is quick.
So I think this is going to be a very comfortable race. Again, with the fact that the AIs are probably going to run half stints as well. I reckon this is going to be a fairly easy race. I don't want to jinx it though. I don't really want to jinx it and completely destroy everything. But I am confident. We might be able to handle this and get a presumably many lap lead by the end. It's going to be a big lead, probably, unless something goes wrong. But we'll find out. Yeah, we can very much just afford to roll it around and not push too hard to this race. There we go. We're definitely going to have to not push too hard if the weather's going to remain like this, because these tires are in this condition, this level of track dampness, which is not very wet at all. It's only slightly damp. The tires are overheating a little too much, so we're going to have to take it easy. Potentially, we'll see what it is like at the beginning of this race. So there we go. Beat qualifying by 4 whole seconds because of the rain. What's it going to be like at the beginning of this race? Medium cloud, it's a wet track at the start.
Pit timings. The fuel estimates are not going to be great.
It's a wet track at the start, but it is not raining. Which means it is not going to take long for this track to dry out, and we are going to have to jump in the pits very early to change tires here. So soft slicks, yeah, that's all going to be fine. And then just double check our fuel and tires one. Good. So yeah, we're going to have to jump in on and do just a tire change here. This is going to be interesting. Wet start of the wet start of the race, but it's going to dry out very quickly. So, 3 hours. Let's begin.
After 1 minute. Okay, Eve, get ready.
And
green.
We are off. Bogged it down on the start with the traction control there. I'm gonna Try and slide on the outside. Little bit of front aero damage as we got into the back of Sora. Can actually turn on the windscreen wiper. Oh, tapping the back of Sora here. And we're gonna have to try and find a way past. And then we're gonna have to keep an eye on these tires, because they are not going to last. Once this track starts drying out, or rather, once there's a dry line, and that's going to be interesting because I'm probably taking slightly different lines to the AIs here. Don't worry, likes it from the back. Oh, I think we hit the brakes a little. Oh no, that's alright, as we got past too higher there. So as we come around here to the end of, I think, Sector 2, we've retaken the lead from Chihaya Rindo, Tokino Sora, sorry Tokino, and Mio Okami. Alright. Let's go. Mandatory pit window open, that is fine. We're not going to pit just yet because we need to wait for the track to dry out. I'm just going to turn that off now. But again, it's going to be a dry line, and if I'm taking a different line to the AIs through some of these corners, that's going to make it a little more difficult for me to switch over to slicks. Because the track is still going to be very slippery as soon as you get off that line, as soon as you get off the tram tracks. But let's see. We have already pulled a massive lead. I think the only place where the AIs are going to be faster than me is potentially the crossover between wet and dry. So we're gonna be significantly faster than them in the wet. We saw in qualifying we were 4 seconds up, and then we're going to be marginally faster than them in the dry. We saw in practice we were half a second up. The crossover, I think they're going to be stronger, and I think that's where we're going to start losing time. But the crossover is only going to be a brief period at the beginning of this race. It is a 3-hour race. We don't have to worry too much about that. We will be able to get it back.
Behind is increasing. It's now 1.7 seconds.
People are already in the pits by the looks of it as well. Interesting call. Interesting call. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, those guys are all pitted at the end of lap 1. So they think it's already dry enough for slicks at the back of the field there. Why is the track a bunny? I don't know. I don't know. It kind of is, isn't it, actually, now that I look at it? It is a bunny's head. A bunny face. That's amazing. Welcome to Jerez in Spain. Alright. Ooh, there we go. So for now, I'm comfortable on the wets. They are starting to overheat, but I'm not doing too bad on them. I'm going to stick with them for a little while until I start just losing control. Until I start basically losing time to the AIs here, I reckon. Let's see what the starting pack here. Back of the pack, obviously, pit at the end of lap 1. Is anyone... Yes. I was going to say everyone. No! Marine has stayed out on wet tires. Marine has stayed on wets. Looks like she's the only one, though. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say Marine is going to go dry next lap. So as soon as they go over the slicks, they are going to be faster than me. I don't want to switch over to slicks too early. Track does look to be drying out quite significantly now. in parts. So the strat is to let the tires bold. You know what? Yes, let's turn these wet tires into slicks. I agree. Good idea. Genius. Alright, let's try and get off the racing line so we can cool the tires down a little bit. Try and get what's left of the wet track. There we go. So we're going to be a little slow for now. The tires are still holding on though. I'm not losing confidence in them just yet. Which is why I don't really want to blink into slicks at the moment. Because I think it's going to be a little tough. Maybe next lap, maybe the lap after that. But I think for this lap, we're gonna stay on wets. And let's just watch that gap. 37 seconds at the moment. Ooh. So let's see how quickly that degrades. How quickly will they catch up?
Your lap time was at 2:06.60.
Ooh. Okay, tires are definitely overheating.
Baron behind is
Marine has gone in, just as I thought, so she's going to switch over to slick tires. The AIs that are currently on slicks, 35, they are catching, but it's probably not as fast as I would have necessarily expected. 34, okay, now they're starting to speed up. So I reckon we pit now.
Fastest lap for Flip, 1:59.60.
59's, okay. The flay on there. So they've just dipped below the 2-minute mark. I'm gonna jump now, go into the pits, change tires. I'm absolutely gonna come out a fair bit behind them. We're gonna be in the pack. But again, they are presumably going to half stint. We're going to go for a full stint. So, let's see how this goes. But again, these tires, they're overheating, and we're definitely slower than the AIs. We had a bit of a moment there, but they don't feel out of control. And I don't know if that's just me being cautious. It might be. It might be the force feedback's making me be more cautious on a bad tire. But yeah, we're not. The car still feels controllable, and we're actually not dropping off of like what our best times was there. We weren't dropping off the 205.
Limit in the pits.
But we're gonna jump in. Change over to some slick tires. Probably gonna end up back in the pack a little bit when we come out of the lane here. Still got some gap. They're coming up to the final corner now. We're halfway through our tires. I reckon we're gonna get out just in front of them. Our tires are done. They're coming around the final corner. And here we go.
There's a car approaching.
They are going to pass us.
Cold tyres, we need to get some heat into them.
I think. Are they? I mean, we're on cold tyres, so they're going to have better pace than us. We did come out in front of them, though. Again, cold tyres. Potentially still some aspects of the track slightly wet, although I don't see... It looks dry to me. The whole track looks dry to me, which is interesting, because I feel like off the racing line it should still be wet, but anyway.
You're in the lead.
The whole track does look dry to me, so I think we can afford to just push it. It feels dry as well, actually. Okay. Yeah, it feels like we can push it. We're still on cold tyres, we've got to warm these tyres up before we can actually go for lap time and break away from these guys a little bit. But That's not going to be too bad. Ooh, yep, had to lift off there. Tyres are still a bit too cold. As Chicane... Ooh, God, I was looking in the mirror there. Goes up the inside there.
Down to track limits there.
Yeah, I think parts of the track there are still a little bit damp. You just can't really see it with the graphics, but I think they're still a little bit damp. Ooh, we're gonna go too wide into the chicane. Don't like that. Side by side with Mach-E X flay on. Oh, almost collided. Can we make the cut back? We can indeed. Not bad there. And Ayame tries to follow us through as well.
New fastest lap for Rins, 157.36, P2.
Okay, tyres are almost warmed up. So we should be able to get back on the pace now. If Chihaya is set in 157s, then yeah, the state of the track should be getting close to dry. Again, not quite fully dry. It's still only a 57s for the AIs. Though that could also just be their race pace. Because we know they're not going to push super hard at the beginning of a 3-hour race. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Not too bad.
Gap to Flynn behind is
Yeah, okay, I think the
now
inside of that corner
0.6.
is a little bit wet, just on the inside of that curb. I think there's a puddle on the inside of that curb, and that's what's making me go wide there. Yeah, there's some puddles on the outside of that curb that I can see as well.
1.3.
So the outside of the track's still a bit wet, but again, the racing line is dry, and looks like the entire rest of the track is dry as well. It's just the curbs and outside the curbs there on the green. That is still a little bit damp here and there. But the track dried out surprisingly fast.
That's a new fastest lap for Rins, 156.81.
Okay. We've caught up to Chihaya here. Got a 55.669 there. Nice. So we were faster that lap than Chihaya, who did a 56. So we should be able to pass her relatively quickly here. A little wide there, that's okay. Not too worried. I'm pretty comfortable sitting in second at the moment, because I know we have the pace. So I know we can make the move, and we have plenty of time left. Okay. Oy, nice. Chihaya kind of swerving to the outside of the track there a little bit. Not necessarily staying steady. So we're going to slightly look up the inside, not quite make the move though. There we go. Just slot back in behind again.
Matching race
So I
pace,
think at this
well
point,
done, Eve.
we have
Just
the
done
pace.
156.71.
Passing is going to be a little difficult. Chihaya is making it hard. She's not exactly letting us go. But I'm also not willing to push too hard. I don't want to make a mistake here. We want to just, again, we just want to keep that consistency alive. Ooh, very slow through there. We might be able to dial up the inside here. We were kind of, I think, outpacing her in this corner last time until the second half. Yeah, she gets a better run in the second half. We get a better run through the first half. A little bit of a tap on the brakes, not too bad. Probably a little later on the throttle than I wanted, just because I didn't want to risk tapping the back of Chihaya and spinning ourselves out. Okay. Oh, that sounds like rain in real life. That does in fact sound like my gaming instinct told me to pit maneuver. Yeah, I mean the problem is, and this is a problem in a lot of like racing sims, AIs have a lot more weight. So if I went for a, like if I tapped the back there, going through one of these corners, realistically it should spin her out, but in actuality it's going to entirely spin me out and she's going to be unaffected, because that's just how it works in these types of games. I know it is stupid. I hate it. It screwed me over so many times from a very light impact that shouldn't even like spin either of us out, and it just ends up sending me off the road. I absolutely hate that, but yeah, it is something we just have to be careful with. And that's why I'm not necessarily going for some moves that I otherwise might here. I am being very careful to try and make sure we don't just swipe the front of our car on the back corner of Chihaya there. We're side by side through that corner. She's going to get a better exit once again, forcing you to play fair. Yeah, exactly. Forcing me to be a little more cautious. Anyway, if you can hear the rain in the background, sorry, I can hear that through my headset. That is actually quite heavy. Hopefully it doesn't take out my internet, or hopefully it doesn't take out my power. That's the main thing I'm concerned about. I think the internet will be fine. But of course, if the power goes, then everything goes. So hopefully it's not a thunderstorm that takes out the power, and we should be able to go. Don't worry, I have flood warnings hit. Oh no. That's fun. Just waiting for the Crash 2.0. Oh yeah, that is heavy rain on the roof there. Fortunately, with the area that I live in, that's usually not going to last very long, so that'll probably be over in a couple of minutes if I had to guess. And if it lasts longer than that, then wow, I will be surprised. But we're still running 7,000 kbps, so we're okay on bitrate, okay on internet. Damn it, Kobo, leave us alone. She's mad that she's at the back of the pack right now. Kobo's one of the slower AIs here. She's mad that she's out in the back of the field. Oh no. Okay. So we're actually having a fun little battle with Chihaya here. It is a little harder to pass her than I was anticipating, which is making this a bit of actually quite enjoyable. Just the AI is slow. Ooh, come on. But yeah, this is actually turning into quite a little enjoyable little race here between me and Chihaya. Which, speaking of Chihaya, she's got an official free DLC pack for Tokyo Extreme Racer. She is officially in that game now. You can grab that DLC for free until September next year, I think. Which means I've definitely got a time limit of buying that game. Right now it's like $70 or something for the game, so I'm probably gonna hold off to a sale. Don't like the fact that my light just flickered, but anyway. It should be okay. I've had that light flicker a few times in rainstorms before, and the power hasn't gone out. It's just been a brief flicker. If only I had the game. Yeah.
Me too. That time was 56.
Free DLC, but it's like 70 Australian dollars for the game, or 72 Australian dollars for the game. But yeah, I'll grab that at some point within the next year and grab that DLC because I really like Chihaya. Chihaya is probably, I would say, my, at this point, JP Oshi? Or at least device Oshi, for sure. But yeah, Chihaya is a fun streamer to watch, even if I don't speak Japanese. Still Ayame, fair. That is completely fair. Also, one thing we do still have right now, we do still have boost. I am pretty sure Chihaya is still using boost. We're only on lap 11, which means Chihaya still have boost as well. She's definitely going to be using boost on a lot of these laps, which is going to be part of the reason why it's so hard to overtake her, why she's pulling away on some of these straights. Yeah, they are. Exactly. So she's gonna be using boost on some of these straights. I'm currently not. We still have a full 15 boost. I'm gonna save it. If we don't have to use it for the whole race, then that's fine. But if we run into problems in the back half, then I'll use it there. Also, lap 11.
Got half fuel left.
There you go, half fuel. If the AI's half stint, this is around where they're going to start pitting. So this is where we find out if they're actually still going to be half stinting, or if they're going to go for a full stint, which I don't expect them to, based on previous behavior.
That lap was at 1:57.16.
Well, let's find out. If this is where the AIs are going to go for a pit stop, then we're going to be able to get some clean air there. Ooh, careful. A little bit of contact there with the rear end.
Wasting a lot of time here. Get your elbows out and force the pass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too forceful with the pass because, again, I know how easy it is to just slightly tap the AI and get sent spinning off the road. And I know right now I don't need to force it. If the AIs are going to full stint and not half stint, then we might have to worry. We might have to start making moves. But again, as I just said, she's still using boost. We're not. We're saving our boost for the end of the race if we have to use it. She's using her boost early on, as will all of the AIs, as they always do. So the fact that we're still keeping up, again, we know we can be half a second faster than these guys. We know we can be half a second faster. Phrasing tap that. Oh, didn't want to do that. A little late on the brakes. We kind of had to make a dive so that we didn't crash into them. Okay. So not doing too bad. We're still literally just holding pace with Chihaya at the moment. Flayon has gone into the pits. So it does appear that they're going to be half stinting, or at least some of them, presumably all of them. So we're trying to make a move here, and she just, I think it's because of the traction control, she just kind of gets a bit of a run out of the corner. We're still side by side. This is a great battle. We're going to outbrake her into that corner, and then if we can get across, we can block her. There we go. So we've covered from the return move. She's going to go to the inside. I'm not going to worry too much about that, because I know I can slightly outbrake her into that corner, cover her off the inside, and now we just got to see if we can pull away. There we go. Because now we got clean air, we can try to make the most of our speed. Oh, she's still looking for ways. Infinite brake checks. Oh, that was late on the brakes. Okay, we didn't go off the road though, so that's okay. That light is still slightly flickering. Power is remaining on, so we're okay. And it sounds like the rain has died down, as I expected.
Alright, Eve. Ignore that fucker in the mirror. Stick to your line.
Okay.
Those exits.
Ayame and Sora,
Lap time was
one of the Soras, have gone into the pits. Looks like a bunch of the others outside the top 11 have it as well. Izuru, okay, no. Izuru and Muna have moved up to 10th and 11th there. Chihaya is still right on us. I'm going to have to try and go to the inside, make that corner a bit slower, but Chihaya also backed off quite a bit there. This is still a great little race for the lead. Still an awesome little race for the lead. It's entirely possible that Chihaya's going to be so engrossed in battling us that she's not going to go for a half stint pit. Again, I doubt the AI is going to take that into consideration, especially since if they do choose to pit, they can just ghost through me. So I'm not exactly going to be accidentally blocking her from the pit lane. Ooh. Chihaya hangs around the outside. Still side by side. This is an awesome little battle here. Chihaya gets the pass back. Fauna is not in this race. As far as I remember, there's one member from each gen, and they're all active members. And there we go. Chihaya peels off into the pit lane. So we've still got a little bit. I heard ooh. Ah, I see.
Nice one.
Fair enough. So there we go. Chihaya's pulled off into the pit lane. That is going to be the rest of top 8 so far. Jumping into the pits. 9. Yep. So that's going to be mostly everyone going into their first pit stop. Again, I'm going to stay out. Looks like Muna's staying out for now as well. I'm going to stay out, and I'm going to go for a full stint. And I'm just going to keep going for full stints. I'm not going to try and artificially equal it out with the AIs here, like we did in the first race, because I really need the points. I need the points, so we're going for it. So we just got to make sure we stay out of trouble now, basically. And who knows? Maybe the AIs can pull something out from half stinting. Maybe there's something that they're doing that I'm missing, and that's just actually going to be a superior strategy. But I kind of doubt it. So as long as we don't make mistakes and we stay out of trouble, I reckon we're going to be fine. We should be able to just hold on to the lead. And try to get home. Okay. And get just a dominating win. That would be a nice change of pace from some of the drama we've had. Okay. So, I think top 4, I believe, still have not pit. Luna, Rubber, Marine. So they're going to probably go in this lap. Looks like it is this lap. Or, yeah, there we go.
It's pitting now.
Thought so. I knew it wasn't going to be too long. Okay, nice. How's my fuel?
Okay, Eve, we'll need to pit for fuel and we'll need to stop again to get to the end. 11 minutes of fuel remaining. It looks like we'll need to add 12 litres.
So we've still got 11 minutes of fuel here. So that's not a problem. So that's going to be 5 laps, roughly. Sort of catching up to the back of the field as well. Though I doubt we're going to be able to catch them before we make our stop. But yeah, the air strategy is not as much of a half stint as it previously has been. They did go a bit further past the half stint than I think they have before. So they are going to be a little closer. They're just going to be very desynced from my pit stops. Which could cause us problems, or it could cause them problems. It's most likely to cause them problems, but
was at 155,
again,
6.
Who really knows at the end of the day? We're going to have to find out just by going. It is! Hello, Carl! Welcome! We were having a awesome battle for the first, like, 10 laps there, or 11 laps with Chihaya. And then Chihaya dropped into the pit lane. Never seen this track in most sims. Yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen it in a sim. So that was fun. This game also actually has the historic Jerez. I think it's the 1988 Jerez as well. Probably more famous for MotoGP races. Yeah, I guess, because the main layout of this, we're running Jerez Chicane. The main layout is Jerez Moto, which I presume is the MotoGP layout. Which is interesting that this game includes MotoGP layouts of stuff, because I know for Road Atlanta as well, it also has Road Atlanta Moto as well, which I presume is MotoGP. Which gives me hope that maybe one day we'll see Phillip Island. I kind of doubt it, because this is still a Formula 1 track, and Road Atlanta is still or this was a Formula, I don't know if it's still used as Formula 1, but it was a Formula 1 track, and Road Atlanta is IMSA, so I kind of doubt we'll see Phillip Island, but it would be great if we did. I would love to see Phillip Island in here one day. But yeah, Phillip Island I don't think ever does Formula 1. They mainly do, obviously, supercar, V8 supercars, touring cars, TCR, and MotoGP.
Left. You've just done a 156.78.
Okay. And of course, club racing. If I recall correctly, Jerez was also in Project Cars 3, which was delisted in August. I did not play enough of Project Cars 3 to remember if it was. It might have been, actually. It might. I'll have to actually I don't think I definitely do not have Project Cars 3 installed. Saw it on their site. Okay, I'll have to actually reinstall Project Cars 3 and load that up at some stage then. I've not played enough of that game because I didn't like it. I hated the physics in that because again, it's an arcade game. It's not. It's literally the opposite of what the name is, which is Community Assisted Racing Simulator. It's not a simulator. So, yeah. But yeah. The Project Cars 3 had some interesting, unique tracks, which was cool. And I wish we could see some of those other tracks, because I feel like it had some fictional tracks, though, is the problem. I don't know if the Havana track in that game is real or fictional. I think it was vaguely similar to the Havana track in Grid, but it was slightly different. Or it's like it was a different layout to the one in Grid, but you could kind of tell it was the same streets. Yeah, actually it was very different to the one in Grid, because I remember you actually go through a tunnel and all that stuff. It was actually quite fun. It was more of a Need for Speed Shift 3, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I like the tracks in Project Cars 3, it's just unfortunate the physics sucked. Just unfortunate the physics absolutely sucked. Yeah, maybe I'll have to load that up again at some point.
Got about 3 laps of fuel left.
And check if that actually has Jerez. But yeah, this game has Jerez Classic, which I think I've ended up doing Jerez Classic more so than this modern layout. Because I actually quite like the Classic, the 1988 version of this track. Oh god, come on. 3 laps of fuel left. I was distracted talking. There we go. Our tyres, I can feel the tyres are kind of starting to die off. So we're going to swap over to our fuel and tyres pit strategy, and we're going to take tyres as well. Because I think we can afford to do so. I don't know if the AIs are double stinting their tyres. They might, because I reckon you could double stint these soft slicks, especially the visual health. But again, I think the visual health is not as close tracking as it used to be, or they've changed how it feels. Because the tires feel like they die off a lot earlier than they. Or not earlier than they used to, but like the health bar on that little heads-up display there is not as accurate as it used to be. It's like, I think it used to be like the tires started to feel like they died off around half health or a quarter health. Now they're dying off before we even reach like 3/4. So it's kind of crazy. They've definitely changed that up with some of the physics updates and some of the updates to the tyre models. But I'm okay with that. As I've said, I think in the previous stream, it makes it more of a feeling rather than just watching the health bar, which is good. It's more about feeling the tyres. And I think we could, well, I don't know if I could get away with double stinting these. It's going to be shocking by the end of a second stint if I'm already feeling it kind of try and let go at the end of one. Probably could manage to double stint them, to be honest. And I reckon the AIs might. It is definitely a distinct possibility that the AIs are going to try and double stint their tyres, especially with their shorter stints. But I think for me, I am going to try and take tyres, and we're just going to see how that goes in relation to the AI. Are we going to lose too much time by doing that? I don't know. Because if we do, then we might try and double stint the next set of tyres. Or we could just try and switch over to hard tyres. We could just even switch over to hard slicks for the next one. and then double stint that. Okay. So we're gonna have one lap of fuel left here. We'll be out on the next lap. So we're gonna come in this lap.
This is the last lap of fuel. Okay, pit stop requested.
So we are going to request our pit stop now. Lap 21, which is about what the estimate was reckoning when we were setting that up. So that's alright. Ooh, yep, there we go. Little sketchy going through there. Okay. So we've got 53-second gap back to Chihaya. Are we going to use up? I reckon we had a 30-second gap roughly, or 32-second gap when we went in on wet tires to change to slicks. So I think we're only going to lose half, but actually, no, because we didn't refuel.
Okay, Eve, in this lap.
That is a good point. We didn't refuel.
Pit exit estimates. You should have plenty of space on the exit. On exit, you should be in
And crew
position.
chief can't figure out an estimate, so okay, this is going to be interesting. So we might actually fall back into the pack here, just a little bit, based on refueling time. Because of course one thing with their strategy at the moment is they didn't have to fill up as much fuel as I'm going to have to now. Because of course they're stopping a lot earlier than me, so they're filling up less fuel and presumably doing tires, I assume. Maybe. And then I'm doing basically a full tank of fuel and tires. I think after this first stop, I think I'm going to come out middle of the opening pack, maybe mid pack. Yeah, probably middle of the early pack. I don't know. We're not going to come out, yeah, maybe probably mid pack or towards the back at this point. Actually, oh god, I keep flipping backwards and forwards just looking at the map. 9th place, 8th place. Sounds like a safe bet here. Maybe in the middle of that gaggle of cars. Yeah, we're gonna come out there, but I think as we go on, I think our gap is maybe gonna work out. I don't know. This is the first time we're actually trying this strategy.
Pit exit looks clear. Okay,
So
relax, focus, keep it smooth.
and yeah, there we go. That's what I thought. 8th place. We should be able to avoid having the cars behind get us there. So yeah, 8th place. I predicted correctly. Now I'm a little, again, I think because of our longer fuel time, it depends. Because again, they're not quite half stinting, but they're going just a bit beyond half before they come into the pits. If they come into the... Well, I'm going to pass them the next time they go into the pits, because I'm pretty close to them. And the real question is then just going to be... Will I be able to... Because if I'm going to go for a full stint here, they might do 2 stops in this time period. Or at least they might stop a little bit after this.
It's getting closer.
And then they're going to...
4 seconds.
Maybe their next stop is going to be around my next stop after that. I don't know. I'm just trying to estimate based on their behavior. This could still play into my hands, going long. This could still work out for me. Because I feel like in my head, it's just like, it doesn't feel like it should work for the AIs on this strategy if I'm going all out. But I don't know. I don't know. It could work out for them, actually. So this is actually going to turn out to maybe be an interesting race. It might not be as comfortable as I was first thinking, but we'll find out. So we're going to try and push and catch up to these guys. Full tank, we've got fresh tyres. Maybe we should have done a little bit of error repair. That would have pushed us back a little bit. I think we'll do error repair if we have a more comfortable gap. Come on. There we go.
To Whittam ahead is now 1.0 seconds.
Look at that. I think we are catching up to the cars up ahead. Maybe? I don't know. I think we are now, actually. Obviously, that outlap, I think we lost some ground, but now that we're up to temps, up to speed, I think we're good.
Your lap times are improving. This is good. Nice one, Eve.
Okay. Clouds feel like they're settling in a bit more as well. I think it's a bit more than the medium cloud we started the race at. Not sure if that means weather. Of course, remembering we did start the race on a wet track, but in dry weather, medium clouds. It was wet in qualifying. So maybe we'll get another bout of wet weather later in this race. I'm not sure. Still looks pretty blue on that side. But if we do that, we'll make things a little more interesting, perhaps. Ooh, that was late. That was a little late. I think it worked out. We are catching up to the back of Tsunamaki Watame here. Come on. And of course, the real target that we got to work towards is Chihaya, who is pulling away. She's got a massive lead on the rest of these AIs. Probably not necessarily pulling away, but she has got a big lead. 2 seconds, or 2.5 seconds over Mio. So if we can work our way through this pack, it's then going to be a case of trying to catch up to her. Let's see what we can do with this pack first. Because of course it was quite difficult to get past Chihaya initially. So I'm expecting might be a little might be a little difficult for some of them.
Sweet.
Not all of them, if we can do that though. Got past Watame and Sora in one go there. We got another Watame up ahead, as well as Laplace, Fubuki, and Mio. Come on. I'm still fully expecting them to pit in the next few laps based on previous behavior. They're having a weird line through that section. Let's make a bit of a dive on Laplace there. Nice.
Nicely done.
Alright, see if we can get some slipstream off of Fubuki here now. Come on.
The lap time was 1:55.14.
Oh, God. Yep, cars behind are pitting. We've now got 6% front aero. Not ideal. Yeah, again, if we can just get a nice gap, I reckon, is when we're going to do our aero repair. If they do what I think they're going to do and potentially have 2 pit stops in this segment of me having 1 stop, then that is going to probably help me, and I can probably afford to fix aero next stop. And I think that's where I'm going to start getting my advantage of their of doing basically half the stops that they're doing. Ooh, a little bit of a tap from Watame there on the inside. So we try to hold it on the outside, can't quite. Ooh, we went very wide there. Not close enough to make a move back on Watame. Okay. Can't really. Well, we can move to the outside of Watame there. Now we're gonna nice clean dive up the inside. Alright. Now it's Fubuki and Mio. The best friends are having they're locked in combat ahead of us there. A couple more people in the pit behind us.
Well done, Eve. That lap time was 1:56.66.
Alright. See if we can try and make a move on Fubs here. Whoops. Come on, stay side by side. Just keep it side by side here. Ooh, a little bit of contact. I'm actually going to slightly dab the brakes there because I don't want to go off the track. Yeah, we're having great racing. I think it's just the pit strategy that's going to really work in our favor here. But on track racing, we're having a great time.
The next car is mine.
Alright. Nice clean move on Mio. Not quite fully done yet. Mio's on the inside still. Now it's done. Slightly got off the throttle there, so she's got a little bit of momentum there. I'm going to cut across. Cover the inside of that corner. Okay. There we go. Alright. Now once again it's just Fubuki, and then the hunt for Chihaya begins. Assuming she doesn't jump into the pits first. She will probably end up pitting before we reach her. In fact, I think she's diving into the pit lane now. Oop. So that's going to put Fubuki up to the lead.
Is pitting.
And we are going going to sit behind Fubuki here, and everyone behind us is in the pits as well. So Fubuki, I reckon, is going to pit this lap.
This is spot on.
The end of this lap.
Time was 1:56.38.
So I don't think we have to worry too much about trying to get past here. Come on. Just keep it on the road and keep it fast. Whoa, not that fast apparently. Not that fast. Caught up to Fubuki a little too much. A little more than we wanted. Whoa, okay. Careful. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Getting a bit hot in this room, but it's like despite the fan on, despite presumably the AC still being on, I think yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still on. I would be a lot hotter than this if it wasn't. It's just the rain making the humidity go up. It's just so muggy in here now, and this racing is surprisingly intense. So we're gonna just try to sweat it out. Ooh. Still managed to make the apex of that corner. Good. Going side by side through the chicane. Try and leave room on the outside. And I think she's going to go into the pit now that we've passed her. Yes, she is. Okay. So once again, we can just take our time, take it easy, don't go off the track, and lap comfortably in the lead.
You're now in the lead. That lap time was 1:57.1.
But so far, both times we've ended up falling back into the pack through pit stops. We've managed to get back past into the lead before, overtake the car right ahead of us for the lead before they've gone into the lane. So I'm happy with that. Or rather, right as they go into the lane, I guess. So that's alright. We are still technically passing most of these people on the track. There we go. Do 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 do. And now we might end up starting to catch the back of this field. We're in 10 seconds of Aki Rosenthal in last place there. Oop, careful. Howdy, how goes the vroom? It is going quite well, actually, this time. Hello, person of interest. Welcome. Hopefully, we can actually get the consistency down and keep it. But I think one of the things that is playing into our advantage right now is I'm going to the end of my fuel stint. The AIs currently are not. Because one of the things that these AIs, for some reason, like to do, they like to half stint. Until the very end of the race. The end of the race, they'll go for a full stint. Usually, from past experience, they'll probably fill up a little too early and then have to pit in the last 10 laps. We might end up seeing that again. But I'm not trying to necessarily stay with the AIs in regards to pit strategy. I am going for a full stint on my fuel, pushing it all the way, and that is working out for us. And as long as we don't get into trouble and don't make too many mistakes, which so far we haven't really been making mistakes, which is good, we should be able to get to the end in a comfortable lead. But we have been having some very, very good close racing when we have been back in the pack, which is fun. I think if my calculations and theories are correct, we're probably not going to end up back in the pack on our next pit stop. Or at least it won't be for long if we do. Fingers crossed, indeed. Hopefully we can actually get some good points in this round. Because again, in the championship we're sitting in 10th place, I think, at the moment. And our next rounds, we got a short race at Laguna Seca. I might be able to do okay there, but of course short race, the AI is going to be pushing hard. And then we got a short race around the Daytona Super Speedway Oval, which I know I'm going to lose. If we somehow win Daytona in a very short race, I am going to be extremely surprised. I don't think we will. And then after that it's 500 kilometers around Bathurst, and that one I am vaguely confident at, because I mean, I know Bathurst, I'm very experienced with Bathurst, but I also know Bathurst is a very difficult track, so it's not necessarily going to be easy. So we'll see. We might be able to claw back some points in the remainder of this championship, but I think we've lost too many to be able to actually get a podium at the end of the series. But we'll see. We'll see how high we can get. If we can get back into the top 5, I will be happy. And here we are catching up to Aki Rosenthal, the back marker here. So we're going to start lapping traffic thanks to this pit strategy. Excuse me. We're almost down to half tank on our fuel here.
It's now 24 Celsius.
So it's presumably not going to be, well, again, 21 laps on the tank, roughly. Have faith in your ability to turn left. I don't. My ability to succeed on oval races has been severely limited. Oh, okay. Aki's hit the brakes to try and let us pass, but we were right in the rear bumper there. But yeah, especially on a super speedway like Daytona, where it is just flat the entire time. I'm okay at Indianapolis. Indianapolis, I am fine with, and I actually kind of enjoy. Gateway, I'm semi-okay with that, but also when we did Gateway in the actual main series this year, I did kind of come like 11 or 12 laps off the pace, because I just had so many crashes. That was definitely my worst round in a long time. And then obviously Daytona back in 2023, the one that we're doing a half-length version of in this. Yeah, we just didn't have the right setup. AIs were way faster than we were able to lap, which is probably what I'm expecting in this one, but we'll see when we get to it. That'll probably be next week. Again, next week I'm probably going to do a doubleheader, because they're both short races. So in order to actually reach the 2-hour stream length, we're probably going to end up going for 3, 4, maybe 5 hours by adding them together, but...
Okay, Eve, you've got half your fuel left.
Probably 4 hours, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to put them both together so that we can actually get through that little US leg of the series. And then move on to Bathurst the week after to finish it off. Because of course, back in 2023, we didn't have the current format that we kind of figured out in, well, last year, where we had a couple of rounds after Bathurst. Because it's basically just random races throughout the year, but some of them are very specifically scheduled. 6 hours is always going to be in April, I think, if I remember. Yeah, 6-hour race is always going to be in April, and it's going to be one 6-hour. We had 2 6 hours in 2023.
It's now 25 Celsius.
Indianapolis 500 always in May. Bathurst 1000 obviously always in October. And then after that we've got another random round and the 3-hour multi-class to finish off the series for the year, which I really like that idea. But that's not something we had, or not an idea that I had in 2023, so we were just kind of starting out, trying to figure out what we wanted to do. But I think now we've got a pretty good grasp. And going forward as well, up to this point we had it set, because Turtle was joining us, and then Turtle really likes the ovals, it was in the notes a schedule to say, okay, we're going to do an extra oval every year aside from Indy. Now that Turtle's not really joining us, I have kind of taken that off a little bit, so maybe we'll do ovals every now and then, but not an extra one every year. But what I've done instead is I've basically said, hey, let's have at least one meme race every year, because the meme races are fun and silly, and I love them. And technically the last race of the year is a meme race, because it's like 9 or 10 different all the classes that we race throughout the year, and that's great fun. But the 2023 Goiânia meme race was great fun, and we're doing those classes at Indy next year. And I have done a couple of practice runs at that, and it is so much fun. It is so much fun driving a Formula 1 car, just weaving through all the traffic and all the chaos. So that's going to be a very fun Indy 500 next year. I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure, I suppose technically this year the multi-generation Formula 1 race that we did probably counts as a meme race in a way, because normally you wouldn't have like 9 different generations of Formula 1 cars sharing the same track.
Leading.
In a I can't remember how, I know it was a 69 lap race, I can't remember if there was a specific distance or not, but yeah, that was very fun. So yeah, I want to make meme races, at least one per year, because they're enjoyable. Whoop. There we go. I suppose technically back in 2023, this race in particular, it kind of was a meme race as well, because we had the V8 supercars, we had the modern IndyCar, we had the Stock Car Pro Series. 69 laps, yeah, that sounds like a meme race. Yep. And then we had the mini cup cars, which were fun. I mean, obviously, again, 2023, we didn't have a proper grasp on how we would doing the championship. That was close. So we were all kind of driving different classes. I think while it was in the IndyCar, I was in the Super V8, or V8 Supercar, and Turtle was in the stock car, I think. Yeah. So that was an interesting one. Unfortunately, I DNF'd that one because of connection issues. But yeah, technically, I guess that one counts as a meme race as well. That one counts as a meme race. But yeah. Alright. Come on. And yeah, obviously for the remainder of this year, we've still got a 6 different races, 6 30-minute races in Grid Legends next month, and then the 3-hour at the end of the year in December. I did a little bit of, I guess, practice for the grids one. That's going to be interesting. Just because of the way the endurance mode works in that game is kind of interesting. I don't like the fact that it basically no matter what you set, whether you set driver level reversed, players first, players last, no matter what you try and set, it will always start, or at least in single player, it always starts the player in the lead, which I don't really like, so we'll see if that's the case in multiplayer. I kind of wish it would actually start us at the back, like I've, you know, told it to in the settings. Would be much better. We'll probably end up starting that one from the front. But I found it interesting, the way it works is once you run out of time, obviously endurance mode is timed races. Once you run out of time, it requires first place to cross the finish line, and that's race over for everyone. Because obviously it's based on distance. The way that game calculates endurance racing, it's based on distance, so it's whatever your distance is, wherever you are on the track when first place crosses the line is your final result, which is interesting. But yeah, that's gonna really make things a little different for next month's race. And then obviously the free hour at the end of the year, we're going to a very tight street circuit in Brazil. We'll probably be driving the Formula Inter that we drove at the beginning of the year. That's probably going to be the favorite chosen car, and I reckon the Formula Inter is a good car to handle that track. So that should be fun. Of course, it does mean when we eventually do the SDRS Mini for 2025, the mini version of this year's series, we are going to be doing the Formula Inter for all of the races, just like we're doing the COPA Montana for this one, the 2023 races. But that should be alright for most of the tracks, I reckon. I think there's a couple of tracks that I think we're going to have to knock off and just not include. Because I don't think we're going to be taking Formula Inter to the rallycross track. I don't think that's going to work, unfortunately. As much fun as it would be, I'm pretty sure those cars don't have an off-road tyre. So we can't take Formula into the rallycross track, unless it does have a dirt tyre, in which case that'd be great. But I don't think it does. So probably gonna have to drop that race. But we'll see. I'm also wondering if I'm gonna end up dropping the go-kart tracks, especially for the 2024 one. But yeah, it's something that we'll have to find out when we actually get to it. Of course, the next time we do a custom championship in this will not be SDRS Mini, but it will rather be an RNG, probably COPA Montana championship.
Okay, Eve, the next car
I spin a wheel, an RNG wheel, and just choose whatever tracks that gives for like 10 or 12 rounds. And just create a completely random calendar, which will be interesting. Alright. Do. Careful. So we're still sitting at the 52 seconds back to Chihaya. Again, I believe their next pit stop is either going to be very soon, or it's going to be around when I stop, probably a little after I do my next stop. And I think as we go on, it's just going to work that back a little bit. We may still end up vaguely racing them in the final stint, which is going to be interesting, but we're going to have to, obviously...
Alright, Eve, you've got about 4 laps.
Both of us... I've got 4 laps, okay.
The lap time was at
both of me and the AIs are going to have to figure out what we do at the end, because I don't know what my fuel level is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do like a one full stint to the end, or if the way I'm doing it, it's going to just be misaligned. We'll find out at the end here. We've still got 105 minutes. A bit under 2 hours. Well, I guess more appropriately, a bit over 1.5 hours to go. Okay. We've got 4 laps left of fuel. We're gonna try and run it to the end again. And then just do the same as we did before. Probably end up back in the pack, but again, I think it's not going to be too long after we stop that they're going to stop. They're going to do their half stint again. And then after that, we're going to... yeah, we're going to see if we can outmatch them towards the end. I'm just curious whether their strategy is actually going to work out and put them close to me by the end of the race, because it genuinely could still work out for them and screw me over. Even though it feels like it shouldn't. It feels like it shouldn't work. But because they're stopping earlier, they're getting less, they're taking on less fuel, means they're spending less time in the pits.
We estimate 3 laps of fuel left
per stop, even though I think overall they will be spending more time in the pits. I think overall, because they're going in obviously more often. But yeah, it's just something that we're going to have to find out. And something I'm very curious about. Okay. Get ourselves. We are slightly catching up to Vrabiru and Botan up ahead. I think Crimson Rouge as well. So Rouge, Botan, and Vrabiru are the cars just ahead of us on the road there. We're probably gonna... I'm pretty sure we're gonna dive into the pits before we catch them though, so we're not gonna be giving them too much trouble. Okay. Whoa. There we go. Although maybe we are. Maybe we are going to catch them, because they have slowed right down. Izuru has moved into this pack, and they've bunched up with the group ahead of them, and Botan is... okay, just as I thought. Their third pit stop is lining up with my second pit stop. I figured that might be the case. So, we have confirmation.
We're matching race pace. Only 2 laps.
But yeah, I think something happened ahead, because Izuru was not in this group. I don't think. Izuru, I don't think, was in this group. So, I'm thinking Izuru went off the road maybe, or crashed, or maybe I just missed it. Maybe he was actually in front of Ruse, and I just missed it. Not entirely sure. But yeah, so their third stop is syncing up with my second stop, which means... oh, that's Liz. Wait, that's Liz. That's not even Ruse. Ruse is in the pits. So yeah, Liz and Izuru, I think something happened to them, because they weren't in this pack. They were not in that pack. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to dive into the pits shortly here. One more lap I think we've got. We could go in a lap early. Because I just don't know how we're sort of ranking up to the end of the race here. So I think for now we are just going to go to the end. One more lap. And that means we're not going to be losing a whole bunch of time to the cars behind. So from here on out, yeah, I don't think we're going to have any real competition. So it's a good thing we had some good racing at the start there, and after the first pit stop. I'm glad we got some really, really good racing out of that, actually. That was a lot of fun.
You've only got enough fuel for this lap. Okay, pit stop requested.
But I'm also happy to take an easy victory after some of the pain we've had in these races so far. It has not been easy, so to have a race where we can kind of just relax is it's not too bad, for me anyway. It's not too bad for me. I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, especially with what's coming up. Again, Laguna Seca, Daytona, and Bathurst, I reckon we're going to struggle after this, so we might as well take the points when we can. And in hindsight, we should have taken the points in round 1 as well, but in the end that didn't matter because we ended up with 0 points, like the whole field ended up with 0 points out of round 1 regardless, because the game glitched and didn't count round 1, which was weird. But anyway.
Coming to the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap.
This lap.
We didn't record any pit timings, so we
you still haven't recorded pit times? Jim?
When you exit the pits.
What happened to the last pit stop that I did?
Immediately behind P23.
Jim? Oh dear. He's been a bit unreliable lately, hasn't he? I feel like over time Jim has just gotten less and less reliable, which is weird. It's like the more it updates, the less reliable it gets. Which doesn't seem quite right. Whoa.
Watch your speed.
Okay. So we're in the pits. Fubuki and Watame have not pit yet. They're probably going to pit this lap. So they're going to come in behind us, and I don't think we're going to be seeing them on the track. There we go, so we're going to take on our fuel, get our tyres on, as we see Marine getting new tyres in front of us there as well. So they are definitely getting tyres, which is good to know. Well, they're getting tyres this one. This is their, well yeah, this is their third stop. So if they were double stinting, they wouldn't be getting tyres this stop. So they are single stinting their tyres, or half stinting their tyres. So I don't have to worry about them trying to outmatch me by double stinting. That's fine then. Perfectly okay. As Muna pulls into the pit bay in front of me after Marine has gone. Rubberoo is leaving the pits. We're about ready to go.
Chirikami.
Behind is pitting now.
Fubuki and Watame are in as Muna starts changing tyres, and we are out.
Clear. Stay behind the white line.
We are out. We've got to obviously
The car ahead is one lap
warm up
behind.
our tyres, warm up our brakes, get everything back under control. And I reckon what we can do now as well is next stop, we're going to do aero repairs. We're going to repair our aero next stop, because we have enough of a lead now. And we know what they're doing. Okay, 43 seconds after that, so yeah, pretty much came out with not too different of a time. Obviously they were a little bit faster in the lane just because of the fact that they're taking on less fuel. That's expected. But we're not going to have a problem just staying ahead of them. And they're going to do another couple stops here. It's not going to be until the final, roughly the final stint, which could be after the next
Okay,
stop,
Eve, the next car is 1 lap behind.
or it could be the stop after that they're gonna full stint. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to find out when we get to it, I suppose. But yeah, we're gonna start getting close to the point where they will do a full stint, a full fuel stint, and then probably, if the first race is any indication, pit in the last 10 laps again, or risk running out of fuel, like I think Muna did in that round 1, like right at the end, because we ended up getting a yellow flag or a safety car, whatever, after the race was over, because Muna ran out of fuel and pulled up on the side of the track. And we have seen plenty of instances of people running out of fuel after the checkered flag throughout this series so far as well. I think that was the only time where we saw it actually running out of fuel before the checkered flag. Which will be interesting to see if that happens again.
A lap behind.
But there we go. Everything is warmed up now, so we can go back to pulling good lap times. Our 155s that we've usually been doing. I am vaguely staying focused enough. Obviously, again, I am, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I am very tired right now. I was up since like 7:30, 8 o'clock, which is admittedly earlier than I normally get out of bed. And been watching Gold Coast 500 all day today and yesterday. So I'm a little tired, a little hard for me to focus my eyesight right now. But again, so far we're doing okay. We haven't had too many problems. The only a couple of lapses where we've outbraked ourselves into the chicane or hit into the back of someone ahead, but it hasn't hurt our efforts, which is the important part. We haven't spun out or anything like that so far, and we haven't taken massive amounts of damage, which is the big thing. Thankfully, this track is not going to be too easy to get massive amounts of damage because there's lots of runoff area, unless we get really tangled up with another AI or we spin there. If we go too wide there and spin across the track, we will end up in the wall, and that will be massive damage, and that will lose us the race, which we almost did just then. Very much almost did just then. So we've got to avoid doing that. But aside from that, I think for the most of the rest of the track, is pretty safe. Relatively safe. It's just that part we have to be careful we don't spin across and into the wall. As we come up on the back of Roberu and Ruse here. Gonna try and dive up the inside of both of them. Yep, no problem. They're slowed down for the blue flag. Nice and easy. Good. I'm just trying to think of where we might use, if we come into a situation where we have to use our boost towards the end of the race. I'm thinking we use it on the back straight. Is probably the most likely spot. It's probably the longest straight we have.
Okay,
I feel like the front straight isn't
a lap behind.
too big a deal. And I think we can use it more so on the back straight, even if we overrun that corner at the end of the back straight. We can still use it on the exit. So I think that's alright. So if we like activate it there, for example, I'm not going to do it this lap, but... And then it'll kick in about there. That might last this whole straight into the braking zone. So I think that'll be... Yeah, I think the back straight is going to be good for boost if we end up having to use it. Which so far we have not... Because we were keeping up with them, even with them using boost at the beginning of the race. So I'm just going to keep it for emergencies. Okay. Too bad out of that. A little bit of a short shift, but that's okay. Ooh, missed the apex on that corner. And who's that in front of us? Ririka Ichijo. Okay. So we're catching up to Ririka.
We're quickest right now.
To
You've just
overlap
done 156.00. Sector 1 is 0.26 off the pace.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about being on pace right now. We've got a 47-second lead, which we've jumped that from 42 to 47 seconds, so I think we're going to be perfectly fine. A-okay. No problem whatsoever. I will say, this is a very fun track with these cars. These cars are actually very enjoyable around here. I might have to add a COPA Montana Jerez race to the future plans, because this is extremely enjoyable. Go. We've caught right up to the back of Ririka. We're going to just get past her here. I think at this point we can... oh god, it's going to take me a moment to get used to turning that off, but there we go. We can turn that off for a little bit and just experience the race a little bit. Sure. Turn that off entirely. Let's go full immersive for a few laps, shall we?
I think about 15 laps of fuel remaining. The guy ahead is 1 lap behind.
I think the next car is Sora, right? Yeah, I think that's Sora up ahead. If we get a bit closer to be able to see now that we've got the HUD off. Nice. Took a little bit too much mid-corner speed there, so we got wide and slow on the exit through that corner. But it's not too big of a problem. Just a little bit wide through there as well. So as soon as you make one little mistake, it becomes hard to get back into the mindset and actually sort of recover yourself. I know that's something that affects real drivers too. You make a little bit of a mistake, it kind of gets you out of the groove. You have to try and take a little bit to get yourself back into that groove. Okay.
That lap time was 1:56.00.
Nice. A nice little slide on the exit. Very controllable. I still just love how controllable this car is when it slides around. It's so much fun to drive. It's so much fun to drive when we're not driving around Long Beach. Long Beach is such a pain in this car because it's just so much more slidey. But everywhere else, it's incredibly enjoyable. Okay. Yep, that is definitely Tokinosaura up ahead. Whoa! Big slide out of there. Okay. Let's just make our way past into the chicane. And nicely done. Oop. To try and make sure we don't go too wide and smack into Sora there. Especially without the radar. Might have come across a little early. That's okay, there we go. We can turn that back on. So next car in the line is Rio. We're now 48 seconds in front of Chihaya as well. Bit wide to turn one.
The car is one lap behind.
We've got 57.8 litres remaining in our tank. With 82 or 83 minutes left in the race. Sitting on lap 49 at the moment, so we're under the half-hour mark. We've gone past the halfway. Probably around lap 46, 45. Ooh, come on. So we can expect roughly that for the remainder. Another 45 laps or so to get to the end of the race. So, how's my fuel?
Repeat, please.
How's my fuel?
We'll need to refuel and we'll need to stop again. 24 minutes of fuel left. We think we'll need to add 138 litres.
138. Okay. Hang on, so 80, 160. Okay, so we're gonna 1 and a bit stints to go after this.
At the moment, your lap time was 1:56.68.
We may end up doing a half stint towards the end, which is gonna be interesting. Because presumably the AIs are gonna do their final stint. Hang on, so that synced up with me, then their fourth stop is gonna be sometime soon after I hit half fuel here. And the fifth stop is going to be around there when I do that. Or probably a bit after. Ooh, come on. Yeah, the fifth stop is going to be a bit after my next stop. And then I think they're going to full stint their fifth stop. So their sixth stint, I think they're going to full stint before they get to their sixth pit stop. And then that's going to be a quick dash to the line. I think that's how it's going to go. Either that, or they'll half stint their sixth, go into their sixth pit stop, and then full stint to the line. Either way, I think that those are the two tactics I can see the AI is going with right now. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm gonna full stint in my next one, and then probably have a quick one to the line. Probably going to be a half stint to the line, I would guess. After we actually go in, maybe I don't full stint. Maybe I half stint it and then I full stint to the line. I think that would work out better. So basically, on our next stop, we're going to ask crew chief again how much fuel we need to the end. We're going to figure out how much fuel remaining we have to be able to fit that, and then we're going to stop when we hit that number. That's how we're going to play this, and I think that'll work out in our favor. I think we'll be able to easily outsmart the AIs using that strat. So let's see how we go. Get it through there nicely. A little bit of a shake on the inside curb. So again, it's not going to be too many more laps, I reckon, before the AIs go for the next pit stop. And then they're either going to, well, it'll be their fourth stop, right? Yeah.
Our quickest at the moment. That last lap was at 1:56.38.
And then, yeah, it's either after their fifth stop, they're going to full stint, or their sixth stop, they're going to full stint, is my theory. I think this is going to be their fourth stop. Wait, is it? Fuck. Actually, no, this might be their fifth. I might be a number off. Hang on. So 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, no. I think I'm right. Yeah, I think I'm right. This will be their fourth stop. Yeah. Trying to do maths. Not easy. All right, half fuel. It's only going to be a matter of time here before they stop now. Probably a few more laps. There we go. The first pitters have blinked. So that's Cali and Watame, one of the Watame cars, into the pits. So yeah. And that's Ogre into the pits as well. So far, our guesses and our calculations have been working out quite accurately as far as what I expect the AIs to be doing and when I expect them to be pitting. So again, this will be their 4th stop. I think they're going to half stint to their 5th stop, then potentially full stint from there.
Pretty consistent. You've just done.
And then we'll see what they do on their 6th. But yeah, I think their next stop is they're going to full stint. And their next stop is going to be roughly when I do my stop. So if that's the case, then we're all going to be together full stint. Well, no, I'm going to half stop. I'm going to half stint that round, right? If they full stint, then I might fall kind of back into the pack for the end of the race. But I know they're going to still have to do another stop. So I'm okay with that. We might still end up in the pack and racing them for a few laps. Maybe half a stint or so. But I'm pretty sure they'll have to stop again by the end. Because I will be half stinting just to make it. So I think it'll work out really well then. In that case, I think it will work out just about perfectly for me, and I'll essentially be like the length of a pit stop ahead of them come the end of the race. I think that's roughly how this is going to work out, which is not quite the lead I expected. I think originally I was like, okay, we're probably going to finish like laps ahead of them because we're doing half as many stops, but no, I think we are going to finish basically one pit stop length ahead. So, okay. Fair enough, fair enough.
We're currently setting the pace. Your last lap time was at 1:56.02.
Just double check that, yep. We've got our error repair set for that. Just double check.
The car in front of us is now 1 lap behind.
That is going to be 88 litres and not 145 or whatever that said, which was for the
car behind's pitting.
Formula 1 car, I think.
You've got a bit of brake damage.
Brake damage, yay. That's fun. Well, we could technically do a pit stop for brakes. I still have that brakes plus like pit strategy, but I don't think we're gonna have to. We got like it's a little bit of brake damage. I think we can still make it to the end. If we were doing a full 6 hour, then yeah, I'd probably pit for brake repairs mid-race. But since it's only a 3 hour, I think we can make it to the end on these brakes without changing them out. Okay.
We're setting the pace. That lap time was 1:56.40.
Right, so the cars behind me have done their pit stop. And now 1:41. Means when I do, well, we're both going to do our next stop at the same time. Then I'm going to do an extra stop, which is probably going to bring me back to... Okay, maybe it won't bring me back into the field. It's going to bring me back to around the 50-second mark, I think. And then they're still going to have to pit stop again. So we might still just have a massive, almost minute lead even after our half stint stop. Our final pit stop. We'll see. We might be comfortable there. I don't think we're going to have any issues with that. Because right now we're essentially two pit stop lengths ahead of them at the moment. Which is probably roughly what we're going to finish with, around 2 pit stop lengths. Which is almost a lap down, so, because I think this is the front pack ahead of me here. So I guess I was kind of right in thinking that we might end up finishing a lap ahead, at least a lap ahead of them. So, alright, fair enough. So my predictions are coming true. That's a first. I feel like I've mostly done alright on predictions, but yeah, sometimes they do not work out because the AIs, either the AIs are weird or my calculations are just completely off. Usually the AIs are just very weird, let's be honest. But anyway, that is last place ahead of me, and then the car, okay, 25th ahead of that, and the cars ahead is top 7. Yeah, okay. So it's Aki and Muna, they're completely out of sequence, and then it's top 7 in front of them. Okay. Judging by fuel numbers, I think it is going to be probably a few laps after my stop is going to be their next stop. Their, was it 5th stop, did I say? It's going to be a little bit after my next stop here. I think is how this is going to work out. They basically only just did their stop. We have 25 litres left, not too many more laps. So it's going to be probably a quarter of the way into my stint that their next stop is going to be, where they're going to, again, I think, full stint and try to get as close to the end as possible. Which, depending on... I think I'm going to need roughly half my tank, just a bit over, so I still don't think if they're like a quarter after me, I don't think if they do another half stint here, they're going to make it to the end. If they're smart, they'll go a little bit further, to the point where they can make it to there, because they can very easily push to the point where their next stop will be to the end. They can very easily do that. It's just the question of will they? Or will they stop too early? Because they could easily either do that, like 3/4 stint here, or they could full stint this one, and then just have a short fill to the end. Or a half fill to the end, or whatever. Or probably 3/4 fill to the end, actually. But yeah, they could 3/4 stint this and make it to the end, I reckon. It's just a matter of will they? Are they smart enough to do that? Usually no. Will they do that this time? I guess we'll find out. We are starting to catch up to the lead pack here. And we're almost within the final hour.
4 laps fuel remaining. We're quickest right now. That lap was a 156.00.
So our next stop, I think, is going to be within the final hour of the race. Oh, Sora locked up the front brakes there. You can see her lock up the front right wheel. A little bit of smoke. Probably going to have a tiny flat spot on that, but it wasn't too big of a lock up, so it's not going to be too bad. Of course, we are now within blue flag range, so that's going to slow them up. So Sora's going to drop off the back of the field here just because of us, which she already is. Try and get past her. There we go. Oh, she's still side by side with us. Not making it easy. The blue flags never do. Okay, that might have been. That might have either been me a little late on the brakes, or the brakes just faded out there. I'm not entirely sure which. I think it was just me late on the brakes. Oh, Jesus Christ, hello, thank you. Okay, that's alright. Yeah, figured that was eventually gonna happen.
You've got about 3 laps of fuel left.
Okay. I'm gonna try and
okay, Eve, the
be a
next
little
car
easier,
is 2 laps behind.
Easier on my tyres now after that, because obviously the spin did hurt them quite a bit there. We've only got to hold on to them for a few more laps. So it should be okay. Take it easy. No need to push the car right now. Okay. Going to be 2 laps of fuel after this, at the end of this lap. I think we use a bit over 4 litres a lap, between 4 to 5 litres.
156.
A bit over 4 litres, I think. So. Also, it would be nice if Crew Chief still told me how much fuel I was using per lap, but apparently that's just been removed. I even checked through the settings and didn't see anything that seemed to be relating to that. So it's just, that seems to be removed entirely, which is annoying because I really liked having that. I think it will be nice. One of the next updates, whether it's going to be the next update or whatever, they are going to. I know they're going to update the UI for the game, which will. I don't think it'll include like how much you're using per lap, but it will include a how many laps you have left on this fuel tank, which I am I'm looking forward to having that, just without having to necessarily fully rely on crew chief for that. Would be nice. Of course, crew chief is always going to be a useful thing to have. It would be nice to just always have that information, even when I don't have even the just random times I boot up the game without crew chief just to play around. It would be nice to have that information in those instances. Or when I'm practicing for SDRS, I usually don't open crew chief up. So it would help on those instances. Whoa. There's going to be one more lap.
We think you'll be out of fuel on the next lap. Okay, pit stop requested.
We're going to hit that. Take it easy, as these tyres are completely shot. Thanks to spinning out on, or getting spun out there by Sora. So we're going to have a little bit of aero repair this time. Repair up that front aero that we've had a little bit broken since literally like lap 1. Very, very beginning of the race. But we've still been lapping faster than the AIs even with that damage, so it's not too big a deal. Just would be nice to get that out of the way. Because, again, we have time. We have plenty of time over the AIs here. We can afford a little bit of repairs. We could probably afford to repair the engine, to be fair. I don't want to risk it, and I'm not going to repair the engine because there's no reason to. But actually, I don't know if we could repair the engine in the time we have.
Okay,
it would probably still take too long.
The end of this lap.
Because engine repairs take forever. You still don't have any recorded pit times. Crew chief,
we should come out
come on,
into
Jim.
position 1, a few seconds behind P14.
Okay. Okay. So let's bring it in, and then once we do this, we're going to do a couple of laps, and then we're going to double check with Jim how much fuel we need to the end, and then we're going to just have a look at our fuel numbers, and basically we'll essentially half stint this and try and get in as all the fuel that we need to get to the end. That's how we're going to run this, and I think it'll work out. We've got plenty of time over the cars behind. Almost a full lap right now. And I think they're still going to do 2 more stops. Again, unless they one stint this, if they full stint this this fuel run, then they'll only have to do 1 more stop, just like me. But we'll see. I think they might do it. They might be smart enough to do it. Oops, I was caught napping that.
Pit exit's clear.
I was slightly caught napping there, but that's fine. There we go. So we're on cold tires. Still got plenty of gap to the cars behind. Full tank, and how's my fuel?
Okay, Eve, we'll need to refuel. 39 minutes of fuel remaining. We'll need to add 49 litres.
49. 44 is half, so 50. 34. Well, 35, technically. So when we hit 34 litres, we'll say, or 33 litres, we will jump into the pits at that point and fill it to the end. So we're gonna just send that over to fuel. There we go. Just warm these tyres up now as well. We've got Rio sitting behind us. I don't think he's gonna cause us any issues. And yeah, we've got 30 seconds to the cars behind. If they full stint this, then when I do my half stint stop, we are going to fall back into their clutches for a little bit until they do their final stop. Unless their final stop is before I do my final stop. It all just depends on fuel numbers right now. It'll probably be around the same time. Actually, no, it'll be just after. No, sorry, just before. Yeah, I'll do my final stop just after them, I think. Ooh, which is going to be interesting because technically... Ooh, wait a second. No, that won't be their final stop then, if that's the case. That won't be their final stop if they do that. Maybe they will half stint this. Far out. There's a reason race drivers don't worry about this. It's all their crew, their bloody engineer's job. There's a reason this is the engineer's job and not the driver's job. Oh God. I hate trying to calculate all this stuff in the middle of a race. It's fine, just calculate my own stuff. Don't worry about what the AI are doing. Easy solution there. OBS preview definitely looks a bit laggy. Yeah, okay, stream does look a bit laggy. Sorry about that.
155.38.
Sorry about that. Not much I can do, unfortunately. That's just how the game is with my computer and streaming. Or I guess it's not so much the game's fault. That's just how my computer is with streaming this game. I guess in a way, in that sense it is game's fault, but anyway. Yeah. Now, if I could, one day, I don't think I have the room for it, but if one day I had the room to get a dual PC setup and have a separate streaming setup, that would be very nice. But I think there's a 0% chance that I have the room for that. Because I'm in a very small and cramped room as it is.
Car in front is 1 lap behind.
1 lap behind. Of course. All the cars around me are 1 or 2 laps down. 1 lap's down, I think, right now. For everyone around me.
At the moment, the lap time was at 155.80. The track temperature is increasing.
I'll take
It's now
that.
27 Celsius.
Please, sliding. Track temp is 27, okay. So track temp's not too bad. We're definitely not going to be worrying about overheating tyres on 27 degrees. Not a problem there. It's only when we get to the 30s and 40s that we have to worry about overheating tyres. "50 minutes remaining in this session."
Whitton is entering the pits.
There we
He's
go,
in
they're doing their
P6.
next pit
He'll come out
stops.
just in front of
Okay. So from here, so again, that's their, if I remember correctly, 5th stop. Which again, I think that's a half stint that they've just done. So I reckon they're going to full stint this and then quick fill to the end on their 6. So that's their 5th stop, yeah. Full stint, then quick fill, and then dash to the end, I think is what they're going to do from here on. So, we are just going to keep cruising. It means we're going to have, as I said, we're still going to have like a full pit stop length or more lead by the end of this. So we're really just not going to have any issues at all here. And so far, our consistency has been good. Okay, aside from getting spun by Sora when we were trying to overlap her, everything has worked out. Our driving has been smooth. And I think a big part of that is just the force feedback. It's really helping, obviously, as you would expect. Being able to feel the car does a lot more to make it stable than just mentally feeling it, I guess, via vision, which is what I was always doing. But having the actual force feedback, especially with this game, which has really good force feedback, yeah, it's like really intuitive, really informative, rather. You can definitely feel everything the car is doing and easily get a hold of it, keep it under control. We've got 66.6 litres of fuel now. Just looked down and saw that. Good job. Good job. Although despite saying what I did earlier, our rear right tyre is slightly warm. Slightly overheating there. I think maybe we're just pushing it a little too hard, slightly a little too much as the track heats up a tiny bit. For that rear wheel, because obviously, yeah, the clouds are cleared up now. We've got more UV on the track. So the track itself is obviously getting hotter. Got more UV, less clouds, or less cloud cover. So the track is going to start slowing down, start heating up. So, ooh, there we go. Yeah, track's going to start slowing down now as the sun is shining directly on it. No cloud cover at all. I was not paying attention to when that happened. It probably happened a while ago. But yeah, so we gotta just take care of the tyres a little bit more. That's all that really means. Although having said that, we're speeding up. Even though the track should be slowing down right now, with the extra UV, we are definitely speeding up. everyone's cycling through their pit stops here. And again, they are almost certainly going to full stint this run. And yeah, we really sped up there. 54.1. Right as I was saying, the track is going to start slowing down because of the UV. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for proving me wrong. That is interesting. Oh, crikey. Lost grip there. Just kept it under control, thankfully. Yeah, that rear tire is just getting hot. Very hot. So we do need to back it off a little bit. As tempting as it is to go for the lap time, that's always what screws me, I think. Always what screws me late in the game, trying to go for lap times late in the race. Where I'm like, oh, I'm actually way faster than I was at the beginning of the race. I can set record lap times right now. No, that just sends me into the wall because I pushed too hard. I need to not do that. That's probably where my biggest problem with consistency comes from, but it's just, I end up realizing I can go for faster laps later in the race when I don't need to. I just do not need to, because I'm not racing anyone at the moment. Obviously, if I'm trying to catch up to people, then yeah, I'll need to go for lap times, but most of the time that's not the case. Okay. Catching up to the back of Botan and Sora, one of the Sora cars, the 7th place Tokyo Sora. And Ruse is a bit ahead of them. Alright. So Botan should let us pass, no problem here. Yep. Not an issue there. Sora's going to start slowing up. And hopefully doesn't spin us this time. I would very much like to get past Sora without being spun. Because I'd very much like to keep these tyres to the end of the race. Please. Need more confidence through that corner. There we go. There we go. No problem there. And we got plenty of room behind us. Not going to get dive bombed on the final corner there. Good.
We're quickest at the moment. You've just done a 155.07.
I suppose the thing working for us, despite the extra UV on the track's also going to be significantly more rubbered up by this point, which is probably why it's so much faster. So that's useful. it's going to be a little bit longer before we go for our pit stop. Just double check. Yep, we're on the fuel tab. And that is none and off and off. Good. Okay. Hello, Crimson Ruse. I would like to get past. Just give you a little bit of space on the inside so that you don't take me out. There we go. There we go. For a second I was like, why am I still seeing blue flags? No, it's because Bruce is still seeing blue flags for Sora. That makes sense. Forgot about that. Nice. Car on the road is Ridika once more. Okay. I thought I heard... It's just my chair making noise. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't my brake pedal, because it was every time I'm hitting the brake pedal I was going to push myself back into the chair. The chair's making noise. But with the headset on I couldn't tell if it was... it sounded like the brake pedal, but it was not, so that's good. Alright. 45 litres in the car as we come across onto lap 20, 72, not 27, lap 72. Whoa, a little bit of a run over the sausage curve on the inside there. Okay.
You've got half your fuel left.
My microphone is picking up a lot of noise. Most of that's probably going to be my chair, but some of it's probably going to be the fan, and I hope the fan's not too bad. I have had the fan on like every stream recently. I know the fan vaguely, or the wind from the fan vaguely gets picked up the microphone. My hope is basically just that the game volume is always just going to overpower it. So hopefully it's not too bad there. Because it's just so hot in this room. I need to have the fan on, especially because it's coming into summer. It's spring right now, so it's only going to get hotter. And yeah, unfortunately it's just going to be blowing a little bit of cool air, a little bit of air onto the microphone. But hey, on the plus side, I'm running it on level 1, not level 2. I normally run it on level 2 when I'm not streaming, so...
Last lap was at 155.06.
It's just so hot in here. So bloody hot. But I am used to that, because that was the case in my old room at the other house as well, so hey, nothing new, just means hours and hours of sweating it out whenever I stream. Suffering. The problem with living in a hot country and not dealing with the heat very well. Probably because I'm originally from a colder part of said country. But I've spent a lot more of my life in the hot section, so I guess I'm kind of adapting. But yeah, it's just, my body doesn't like it much. Even after how many years of living up here, where it's hotter? Almost 20. Like, 18 by now. 18 years. Oh, God. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure my body's ever going to fully adapt to the heat. Oh well. Alright, 37, one more lap, I think, and we might bring it in. How's my fuel? How's my fuel?
Repeat, please.
How's my fuel?
I didn't catch that.
How's my fuel?
We're quickest right now. Okay,
Tell it.
we'll need to pit for fuel. 16 minutes of fuel remaining.
Uh-huh.
Estimate we're going to need to add 50 litres.
It's gone up to 50 now.
That lap was a 155.
I suppose because we did it as we were going the in lap. Okay, so it's gone up to 50. I'm glad I checked that now. So 80, 70, 60, 50, 40. Wait. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. That's still accurate? Or was it 50 litres to... Oh no, it was like 40 something, right? Yeah, so yeah. So it's still accurate, I think. Maybe we'll just go one more stop, shall we? Or one more lap, and then we'll stop, just to be safe. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. Yeah, sorry, that was... I forgot the exact number that it said when we were coming out of the pit lane. Or going into the pit lane, whatever we were. Yeah, coming out, right? Yeah. Because it would have had to been after we filled up. Because I think that was like 45 or 47 or something, I can't exactly remember, but... Yeah, 50 litres is 38, I think. And we've hit the 33.3, which I said 33, I think. So... but this might be a plus... Well, I mean, crew chief is still accurate. I'm not going off the timer. I was gonna say, it might be a +1, but yeah, it's still whatever crew chief says. Should be accurate. Anyway.
Acknowledged. Pit stop requested. Didn't record any pit timings. The estimate position estimates.
So we're gonna jump into the pits here.
One immediately behind Rosenthal. Car ahead is one lap behind.
And that's not going to be a problem for us on track. We've still got so much of a lead. Laplace and Fubuki have actually gotten ahead of Chihaya here. So obviously Chihaya's fallen back a little. Oh no, Chihaya's fighting back with Fubuki there. They're mixing up the positions there. Those top AI especially, they love to fight. Every time I look back in all of these races, it's always like a slightly different order. They love to fight amongst each other, which is great to see. Love to see that, especially when I'm nowhere near them. I'm not influencing them at all. That is very nice, and should hopefully only become better with future updates. Because again, I think they're further updating the AI in the next one.
Pit crew is ready.
So
the guy in front is 2 laps behind.
Izuru up ahead. Isidro and Rio, the two Hollow Stars boys. Or should I say Hollow Stars and Uproar? Alright, let's bring it in.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. We didn't record pit timings.
Get it under the limit
position is mainly
and
off. There'll be traffic on the exit. Expect to exit the
fill up
pits
to
in
the
position
top,
1
and
in between
we
road
can
top
make it
and
to
Mooney.
the end from here. No problem at all. Not a single issue. Ah. Where is second place? Second place. Okay, I see second place. On the back straight now, I reckon. Yeah. Second place is coming onto the back straight now. And we are just now coming back out onto the track.
There's a car behind. Stay inside the line. Your tyre temperatures look
So
good.
it's not going to be any sort of threat from them. We don't have to worry about tyres. Oh, right. I saw, like, last second that, oh god. I saw, like, completely last second, I noticed the radar. I was like, oh, wait, there's someone inside. Someone on the inside. Because I was moving over by accident. But, thankfully, it was still ghosted. I kind of wish there was an option to turn off that ghosting. I really would love to not have AI ghosting going in and out of the pits. Or just ghosting in general going in and out of the pits. Would be very nice. Would make it a bit harder, but also, you know, more realistic, more immersive. But yeah, unfortunately that's not an option we have. I mean, technically I would love to have it so there's just no ghosting at all, even in the pit lane. I would love to still have contact on in the pit lane, which would cause problems for bigger fields, especially like safety car stops and stuff like that, because it would cause problems with double stacking, which I think that would add a fun little extra challenge in. You can't pit when someone else is, like, another car is in your bay, because otherwise you'll have to double stack and just wait for them to go through. I wish we could fully disable ghosting and allow that, but alas, that is not the case. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's the car doing? It was going quite sideways there, I think. Okay. Okay, 1 minute to the car behind after our short stop. Less than 30 to go. You got this. Hell yeah. I think we've got this pretty safely. Again, the AIs need to stop one more time. So I think we are safe to the end. Our strategy did in fact work out perfectly. And I think we're going to finish probably a lap in front of the cars behind after they cycle through their final stop. So yeah, it works out exactly as I predicted. Which is very nice, very good easy points. Unfortunately, since we stopped with like 28 liters, which was only going to be like 6 laps maybe of fuel, we are essentially double stinting these tires. So earlier in the race when I said, oh, maybe we can double stint these tires, but it would be rough, that's exactly what we're doing here. We are double stinting these tires, and we can see how rough it is. I'm 3 seconds off the pace here, just because I cannot keep the car straight. It's so much more slidey.
Your lap time was at 1:57.57.
It is, as I said at the beginning, rough trying to double stint these things. But that's alright. Again, we have so much time over second place, we don't need to push. We can take it easy. We can handle these completely shot and dead tires and just make it to the end. Even if the AIs go for tires on their final stop, which they probably will. Because if they've been going for tires every stop anyway, I reckon they are going to... they're not going to double stint their tires at the end here. But it's noticeable, especially since we're racing 10th place right now. I can't pull away, basically. I can't pull away from Marine here, or Ogre, or Bay, because these tires are just too far gone. So the fact that we're struggling with pace against 10th place, 10th, 11th, 12th, yeah, that definitely shows problems, but it's just the fact that we're so far ahead. It's not going to matter, which is very nice. Very nice to have. Okay. Looks like Chihaya has made her way back to second place, taken the position back from Laplace. Mio has dropped down behind Watame. Fubuki has dropped down there as well. I think Fubuki was the one that was in
race pace. That was
third, right? For a bit. But Fubuki's dropped back behind Watame and Mio. So there's a lot of, as I said, there's a lot of position changing going on in that top 10. They are fighting to the flag here. All the while we are running away at the front. Or I suppose not so much running away anymore, but... although that has gone up to 102 rather than 101, so maybe we are still faster than them. Even with these dead tyres, we are still faster. Because presumably they're at the end of their stint on shot rubber as well. So they are, again, once they do their stop, they're probably going to be faster than us because they are going to have fresher rubber, fresher tyres, presumably. I don't see them trying to double stint that. But yeah, it'll be fine. Whoa. Come on. Yep. 21.5 minutes to go as we come on to lap number 80.
155.74.
Yeah, as I expected, like 45 to 48 or 45 to 50 laps is going to be, well, the halfway mark, so it's going to take us to the end. So we're going to finish at this point 20 minutes, roughly maybe just over 10 laps. So yeah, around that 90, maybe a little bit past lap 90 is where we're gonna finish off here. So let's see how we go. Yep. My guess is in the 90 lap range. Yeah. So we're not quite going to reach the full 100, but 90 laps is going to be a pretty good stint in this thing. Less than 95? Yeah, I'd say 91, 92 maybe.
The guy in front is 2 laps behind.
Probably around there. Maybe 93 if we get lucky. But yeah, I reckon less than 95 is a safe bet. If we keep going, well, I mean, it's not like we're consistently doing like 57s each lap right now. We are, that was a 57, 56, 55. This is going to be probably a 56, right?
Well,
yeah, 56.
156.69.
Barring any big mistakes, 91? Again, maybe 92, but yeah. I think that's probably the safest bet, in my mind anyway. So let's see how we go. It's a pretty decent distance in these things. I have to actually check exactly how much distance it was at the end of the race, I suppose. Calculate it with the track length. Careful. My guess is, I mean, 3 hours. In these cars, probably not quite 500 miles, so like 700 kilometers, between 700 to 800 kilometers is my guess, roughly. Maybe on the lower side because these things are slower. So yeah, again, pretty good length. We'll have to double check it. Whee. These tires are gonna be fun in the final 10 laps here. Whee. And this is gonna be another 56, I reckon. 56.1. Shoestring tires? Yeah, they feel like it. They sure feel like it. Because we're essentially double stinting them. Double stinting soft slicks. It's a little rough as the track is heating up a little bit under the sun now as well. Or has been heating up for a little while. I don't remember when the clouds went away. Probably half an hour to an hour ago. But we're not overheating that rear right tire anymore. That's something that we were struggling with probably around the beginning of this stint, or this tire stint. We're not struggling with overheating that anymore. So obviously we have, well, I mean, yeah, we're doing 56s right now. We were doing 54s when we were overheating that. So obviously we've pulled it back enough that it's not too bad.
Right, the guy ahead of us is 2 laps behind.
2 laps behind, and is, of course, Crimson Ruse and Shishiro Botan. We keep catching up to these two. How many times have we passed these two in particular? It feels like a lot. Of course, we've got 9th place Calliope Mori ahead of them. Another 10 seconds down the road. Oop, careful.
Right,
15 minutes remaining.
56.80.
We're getting into the low end now. We're getting into the back end now. There we go. Let's, can we try and go to the inside, outside for the next corner?
Well done, Eve. You're looking really good. Come on, keep your focus.
Bottom's
15 minutes left. That's
shifted
15 minutes.
over. We're still going to just try and take it down the outside of her.
The next car is
Nice.
2 laps behind.
And then it's a cut. It's the next car on the road. We'll see if we can catch up to her before the end of the race. Probably be able to. Potentially. Minutes is still a fair amount of time. Oh. There we go. Oop. A little bit of a run over the sausage curb there. Careful. Do not over throttle it. Only 10% damage on the engine, that's okay. The engine's lasted decently well throughout this. Okay.
We're setting the pace. Sector 2 is 0.26 off the pace.
Sector 2 is 0.26 off the pace, but we're setting the pace. Hang on a second. I guess we're just making it up in the other two sectors, or one of the other sectors. That's funny. How are we off the pace if we're setting the pace? Of course, it's very nice to come to the end of a 3-hour race and not be in pitch black like the first one in this series. Bit of an oversight there in the planning, going into a night race with a car that has no headlights. Little bit of an oversight there, because unfortunately, unlike what a certain stock car might have you think, the track is not always lit. The track is in fact not always lit. Okay. 11 and a half to go.
Just done 156.44.
We're on lap 85 now. So, yeah, I think we're still on pace to reach 91. I think. It might end on lap 90, but I think we might be able to reach 91. We'll see. Do.
Okay, Eve, the next car is 2 laps behind.
Although we might have to push it if we want to reach 91, actually. It might end on lap 90. And pushing is not really an option we have right now with these tires. Holy crap. Just sideways. Nothing but sideways. Nothing but oversteer. At least it's not understeering too bad, it's just oversteer. Which, to be fair, we've had oversteer the entire race, even on fresh tyres. It's just worse right now on these old tires. But the car does not worry about understeer, which I like.
Loving this, mate. This is perfect.
Ah, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. There we go. 10 minutes remaining as we come around the final corner to start lap 86. And we are catching up to 9th and 8th.
That was 156, 130.
Slowly but surely. Whoa. I suppose that counts as understeer through there if we're still trying to go full throttle. Can't quite make it full throttle through there now with the tires. It does understeer a little bit. I suppose one thing we can do in these final laps, we can start making use of our boost. It's not like it's going to actually improve our lap time. We just don't have the grip to do that in any of these corners. But we might as well start using some of it, because why not? It's there.
Okay, Eve, you've used half your fuel.
Half your fuel. Got it. I think we're going to have enough fuel to go a little bit beyond, because we did stop a lap later than I wanted to. In fact, we probably stopped 2 laps later than we actually needed to. We needed 50 liters. So I think, yeah, 2 laps later than we actually needed to, or maybe 1 lap, 1 or 2 laps, either way. We stopped a little bit later. So we are going to have enough fuel to go slightly beyond the checkered flag here. Alright.
That lap time was 156.14.
Hit the brakes.
That's good consistency. Keep it up.
Thank you. Consistency is key, as is the title. Ah. Okay, let's see. Was it that button? So we hit it there, and then that should activate there. That's what I thought. Good. Okay, so we've got the boost going, and the boost will run out just as we reach the apex of this corner, basically. So there we go. So that's, if we were using boost earlier on, that would have been where we were doing it, but we didn't need to. But that is probably going to greatly help us catch up to the cars ahead if we keep using that for the final few. Come on. Tad late on the brakes there. Judging by how the boost is charging up, I think the AIs would have been using it every single lap, which means they would have run out of boost around lap 16. So that's fair enough. gonna be a little bit past where I activated it. And it's actually not gonna be exactly, yeah, we can hit the boost there. So it's actually gonna be a little bit past because it's gonna activate there when we're halfway down the straight. Which is not
just
ideal.
5 minutes left. Hold your nerve, we can win this.
So it's not perfect in how much it's benefiting us if we use it every lap. Unless we alternate between back straight and front straight. Oh yeah, okay. Come on, we're getting real close to the back of these cars. Oh, was that someone on the inside? No, that was just a...
The window closing in 2 minutes.
They're going for their final stops. I completely forgot. They still have one more stop, and they are doing it in the final 4 minutes. I entirely forgot that the AIs had one more stop to go. This is how late they leave it. And this is pretty much par for the course. This is exactly what they did before. They stop right at the end. Some of them even stopped literally, like some of them just usually decide to stop right before, before the final lap. It is crazy how late some of these AIs leave it to do their final stops. Okay. So I guess we're not catching up to them and passing them on track. Because everyone's going into the pits. Just to try and make it to the end.
30. It looks like he'll come out just behind you.
Ayame's pitting. Laplace is in the pits. Chihaya is in the pits. Ooh, depending on how this goes, that could throw Chihaya quite far down the order. Depending on if everyone else... Like, if some people actually get to the end without taking the extra stop just based on my pace, then that could massively screw Chihaya. I don't think that's going to be the case, but who knows? We'll see. And...
Window's closed. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Ooh, unless this is a +1, this might be the final lap. So it might be lap 90. Unless it's a +1, I don't remember if it is. It might be, but otherwise, lap 90 is the one, just because we were a couple of seconds off from crossing the line with enough time to get around for one more before the timer ran out. Couple of seconds off. If we had been able to just raise the pace a little bit, like if we had fresh tires, but of course if we had spent the time to change into fresh tires, that would have delayed us more, so it wouldn't have mattered, because it would have kept us in the lane for longer. So yeah, either way, I think we were inevitable to reach lap 90 at the end of this. Again, unless there's a +1. Chihaya is sitting in 6th place, Laplace in 5th. I don't think Watame, Fubuki or Mio have done their final stop yet, and I think the pit window has closed. Which means they're either going to try to just survive to the end, which would be smart, it would keep them in the position they currently are, or They're going to run out of fuel. It would be...
Safety car out.
Someone's run out of fuel! Who ran out of fuel? Who ran out? Who stopped on the track? 26th place. Aki's out. Well, 26th place currently. I don't know if that's still Aki, but... And that's cool down lap for us. Race over for us. Holy crap. I knew someone was going to run out of fuel at the end. But the race is not over for the cars behind me. What about Watame? What about Fubuki? What about Mio? Do they have the fuel to get to the line? Where are they on the track? I can see second place. Will second place make it? I see third, I see fourth. Okay, I can see where they are on the track. Fourth place is going slow. Fourth place just ran out of fuel. Fourth place is gone. They're 23rd. Okay, so... Oh my god. I don't think I have to... I don't have to stay behind the safety car. Fourth place is gone. So, that was Mio. Mio's out of the race. What about second and third? What about Watame and Fubuki? Coming around, second final corner. I think Fubuki might be having problems. Alright, who's this? Who is this? That's Kobo. Kobo's out of fuel. Okay. Alright, Watame's on the final straight. Fubuki's on the final straight. They're gonna make it. Alright, Watame gets across the line. Fubuki, I reckon, is gonna make it across the line too. She does indeed. They make it to the end of the race. 7th place is out. Oh, who was that? That was Mio. Okay. Yeah, we knew Mio was gone. 7th place is out of the race. And they might have... actually, they might have already finished. Yeah, I think they already finished. Aki Rose is out of the race. Okay, Aki did go out anyway. But she got 25th, not 26th, because Kobo went out before her. 10th place is out of fuel, but they crossed the line again. So 7th and 10th crossed the line before running out. Mio, Kobo, and Aki Rose did not reach the finish line. And they're gone. Oh, man. Now, is anyone going to run out of fuel behind the safety car is the question. Before they reach the finish line. I'm going to pull up here and I'm just going to find out. I'm just going to watch that.
At the end of this lap.
And I'm going to find out. Because I want to see. I think most of the, not everyone, some of the people behind the safety car have not finished the race yet. Most of them have, I believe.
That's a win. Great job. Well done.
But I just want to check. Okay, there's the two Soras. So I'm going to watch them go past. I think everyone from here is going to make it to the end because I think most of them would have done that stop. And I don't think we're going to see anyone running out of fuel on the finishing line straight, front straight here. So that is going to be a race over.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
So many. Oh my god. 3 people ran out of fuel just before the line. Oh, it is cruel. It is cruel. Oh, look how dirty the front of that car is. Bloody hell. But let's have a look. Right at the end, Mio retired. Izuru retired. I didn't see Izuru go. Izuru went as well. Aki's retired and Kobo retired right at the very end. Holy crap. Oh, that is amazing. And unfortunately for Chihaya and Laplace, Fubuki and Watame did not run out of fuel, so them having to stop at the end there, it didn't work out. It unfortunately did not work out for them. Marine got to the end without making another stop. Mokoko got to the end without making another stop. Rubberoo got to the end without making another stop. And Muna got to the end without making another stop. Everyone else had to make one last stop at the very end there. And again, we got through with 5 stops instead of their 7. Holy crap. That was intense as far as they go. Like, their fuel run, that was intense. Holy crap, that was awesome. But we managed to very comfortably make it to the end in first place. So that has moved us up to 8th overall now. Watame has 666 points. Oh no. But yes, that's moved us up to 8th on the championship standings. Hopefully we can get some more wins. I'm not entirely confident again in the next few rounds. We'll have to see. We'll have to bloody see. That was... Oh, good race for me. Comfortable for me. But yeah, so next week we're going to do 2 of them. We're going to do Laguna Seca and we're going to do the Daytona Tri-Oval. Just because I think they're both going to be short laps. 34 laps at Laguna Seca. And I think it's 50 laps at Daytona. So it's not going to be too long. It's going to be very short. So we're going to do that, both of them next time. And then the week after that, we finish off with Bathurst. With, I think, 80 to 81 laps on that one. So that should be good. That should be very, very good. Holy crap. Oh, boy. Well, I enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed that. I am very hot right now, though. Oh, God, I need to open that door. So I'm going to end off here. Of course, on Wednesday, it is back to Monster Prom. This time we are starting the 4th game, Monster Prom 4 Monster Con. So that should be a lot of fun. That is the latest of the Monster Prom series. So we're finally getting around to it. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful day or night. Take care. You too, person of interest. You too. Have a good one. So yeah, and then after that on Friday, it is actually going to be Phasmophobia. I almost said Final Fantasy again, but no, this Friday coming up is actually going to be Phasmophobia, because it's a Halloween stream, so that should be fun. And of course, it's back to Automobilista 2 for both Laguna Seca and Daytona next Sunday, so look forward to that. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.